Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Warm, engaging, slightly concerned tone, looking directly at the camera, the Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott divorce, separating fact from fiction, a YouTube video script intro music, upbeat, slightly mysterious synth track with a touch of melancholy piano, fades under voice hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You've undoubtedly seen a headline that stopped you cold this week if you've been reading through your social media feeds or keeping up with celebrity news. Zooey Deschanel files for divorce after Jonathan Scott remarries. It sounds dramatic, doesn't it? Even heartbreaking. A seemingly abrupt breakup between two well-liked public figures, connected to a new marriage? Stories like this one have a way of spreading like wildfire. Quick cuts, flashing headlines with bold text. Zooey divorce bombshell. Jonathan Scott remarries, Zooey files. Love triangle explodes, but here's the thing, this story? It's almost entirely made up. Asterisk, asterisk, yeah, you heard that right. It's a classic case of internet misinformation, sensationalized headlines, and maybe a dash of wishful thinking or confusion, spiraling out of control. Today, we're diving deep to separate the tangled threads of truth from the thick web of fiction surrounding Zooey Deschanel, Jonathan Scott, and this completely fabricated divorce drama. We'll look at the actual facts of their relationship, debunk the wild claims step by step, explore why these kinds of rumors explode, and talk about the real human cost of this kind of online noise. Stick around, this is important. Title card: Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott. The divorce rumor debunked. Fact versus fiction music swells slightly, then fades to background before we tear apart the fake news. Let's get crystal clear on the real foundation. Who are Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott actually in relation to each other? B-roll, photos/videos of Zooey Deschanel, quirky indie films like 500 Days of Summer, New Girl clips, her signature bangs and vintage style. Then photos/videos of Jonathan Scott, Property Brothers clips, him with twin Drew, construction sites, his signature charm. Zooey Deschanel is an actress, singer, and co-creator of the popular sitcom New Girl. She is well known for her distinctive, manic pixie dream girl roles, but she is much more than that. She has been married twice, first to musician Ben Gibbard from 2009 to 2011, and then to film producer Jacob Petchnik from 2015 to 2019. She has 2 children from her marriage to Petchnik. Jonathan Scott is a contractor, TV personality, author, and entrepreneur. He was previously engaged to actress Kelsey Oley, 2010 to 2012, and dated a number of other women in public, but he has never been married. He is half of the wildly popular HGTV Property Brothers duo with his identical twin, Drew. On-screen graphic. Clear fact: Jonathan Scott has never been married. This is important. Jonathan Scott has never walked down the aisle. He has been in long-term relationships. Yes, but marriage? Never happened. So, the rumor's central premise, Jonathan Scott remarries, is essentially untrue. You can't remarry if you've never been married in the first place. That's like saying someone earned a second PhD before receiving their first bachelor's degree. B-roll. Split screen displaying recent, reliable images of Zooey and Jonathan both looking content and at ease, possibly at an event, Jonathan on a job site, or with Drew. Now, their relationship. Zooey and Jonathan went public with their romance in late 2019, shortly after her divorce from Jacob Petchnik was finalized, and they appeared to be genuinely happy. They have been photographed together at events and on vacations, like that cute trip to Banff National Park, and Jonathan has spoken warmly about Zooey and her children in interviews. By all accounts, and there have been no credible reports of trouble, they have been in a stable, committed relationship for almost 5 years. On-screen graphic: Zooey and Jonathan, together since late 2019, no public signs of trouble. So, where did this crazy divorce filing after remarriage rumor even originate? Let's take a look at the rumor piece by piece. Claim: Jonathan Scott remarried. As we established, this is pure fiction. Reads the Jonathan Scott remarries lie graphic. There is no foundation in reality. However, why would somebody create this? It can occasionally be the result of confusion. Jonathan and his twin, Drew Scott, are very close. Drew did tie the knot. In 2018, Drew wed actress Linda Fan in a stunning ceremony. Perhaps the brothers were confused by someone? After all, if you're not a superfan, it's easy to mistake property brothers for twins. But even that isn't credible because it's Linda, not some enigmatic new wife, and Drew's marriage ended years ago. B-roll. Pictures of Linda Fan and Drew Scott at their wedding, looking content. This is more likely to be deliberate fabrication. Sensationalism is the lifeblood of fake news websites and social media profiles. The headline, "Property Brother Gets Married," is dull since it is untrue, and he is not the one getting married. Yet, Property Brother secretly remarries. Clickbait gold, that is. It suggests a love triangle featuring Zooey, controversy, and possibly secrecy. It is intended to compel you to click, share, and respond, all of which generate ad revenue for these dubious websites. They are more concerned with traffic than with the truth. The truth about Zooey Deschanel files for divorce lie graphic. Claim, Zooey files for divorce, alright, so Jonathan didn't get married again. Did Zooey, however, file for divorce from him? Once more, no credible proof whatsoever. No court filings have been reported by respectable legal news outlets such as People, ET, Variety, or TMZ. Yes, even TMZ has standards for important filings like this, especially involving A-listers. As would be expected in the event of a significant event, such as the filing of a divorce, her representatives have offered no statement. Rep silence typically indicates that nothing is happening. Here is a screenshot of a fake statement that is making the rounds online. It is blurry, poorly formatted, and uses generic language like, "Zooey is heartbroken but focused on her children." If you look closely, you'll notice that these statements are frequently rife with grammatical errors, lack specific details, such as lawyer names, court locations, and dates, and originate from websites like Celeb Gossip Daily, Net, or HollywoodScoopEasy.com, rather than reputable news outlets. Real celebrity statements come through official PR channels or major news outlets first, if it's only on obscure blogs or Facebook pages with thousands of shares, but no original sourcing. It's almost certainly fake. The causation lie. After Jonathan Scott remarries graphic. Claim, divorce caused by remarriage. At this point, the story stops being just untrue and starts to make no sense. The notion that one caused the other in this particular sequence is tabloid fantasy, even if Zooey had filed for divorce, which she didn't, and if Jonathan had somehow secretly married someone else, which he didn't. Relationships are complicated. If they occur, breakups have a variety of causes. Not only is it incorrect in this instance, but it is also a damaging oversimplification of how actual relationships function when it is reduced to the straightforward, "He married someone else, so she left" explanation. It makes use of worn-out, theatrical cliches that seldom ever represent reality. Why do these speculations catch on like wildfire? The tone of the music becomes a little more critical and reflective. Alright, so the details have been refuted. However, why does this continue to occur? When millions of people see a headline like this, why do they even briefly believe it? A few compelling technological and psychological factors are as follows. The illusion of truth effect states that we are more likely to think something to be true the more times we see it repeated, even if it isn't. It seems validated when pals post the same phony headline across several social media channels. We use shortcuts in our brains. Confirmation bias. People are more prone to believe and spread unfavorable stories if they already have a bad opinion of a celebrity or like drama. It is consistent with their current story. Social media speed. Misinformation spreads more quickly than fact-checkers can keep up. In just a few minutes, a phony narrative can become widely shared. The harm is frequently done by the time the truth is revealed, and the false narrative has already become ingrained in people's thoughts. The celebrity gaze. Through their work and well-manicured social media accounts, we get the impression that we know celebrities. This gives the impression that they are more intimate than they actually are, which makes rumors about their private lives seem more plausible and meaningful. We overlook the fact that they are actual people with respectable private lives. Algorithmic amplification. Social media algorithms are made to present us with interesting stuff. Strong reactions, such as likes, comments, and shares, are produced by content that is controversial, emotional, and shocking, such as fictitious divorce rumors. This instructs the algorithm to display the information to even more people. Sensationalized tend to be more captivating than the truth. B-roll, fast cuts to a peaceful, empty courthouse or library, signifying fact-checking, after social media feeds are flooded with a phony headline and comment sections are replete with surprised emojis and OMG replies. The storm is ideal. What about the victims? Not only the famous people, all of us. It weakens our sense of reality, encourages needless worry and pessimism, and normalizes privacy invasion. The true effect, going beyond the news, music becomes more somber, empathetic. Let's not forget the human beings at the center of this. Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott are real people. Zooey is a mother of 2 young children, and Jonathan is very involved with his family and business. Having completely made up, deeply personal stories about the possible end of their relationship, implying betrayal or heartbreak, spread online isn't just annoying. It's invasive. It's hurtful. It's a violation of their privacy. On-screen text. Privacy is a human right. Even for celebrities, imagine waking up to thousands of people discussing the end of your relationship based on a lie. Imagine your children seeing those headlines. The stress, the confusion, the need to reassure friends and family. That's a real burden. B-roll. Pictures of Jonathan laughing with his family, Zooey with her kids, looking happy. These rumors can also have real-world repercussions, affecting brand partnerships, business deals, and even the emotional health of all parties involved. The constant noise makes it difficult for them to just live their lives, and for us, the audience, it desensitizes us, makes us cynical, and trains us to believe the loudest, not the truest. What can we do? Taking charge of our news music as the tone returns to one of empowerment and hope. What can we do to combat this wave of false information? How can we defend ourselves and treat others with respect? Here are some doable actions. When you see a startling headline, don't share it right away. Instead, take 10 seconds to ask yourself, does this seem too dramatic? Where is this coming from? And have I seen this reported by a major, credible news source? Check the source ***. Is it People, AP News, Reuters, Variety, or ET Online they verify? Or is it a random Facebook page or Daily Celebrimers info? If it's not a well-known, trustworthy source, be very wary. Reverse image search. Old or irrelevant photographs are frequently used in bogus tales. Use Google to perform a fast reverse image search. Does the picture truly correspond with the narrative? For instance, is the newlywed picture from Drew's wedding years ago? Seek official statements. If it's a significant event, such as a divorce filing, the PR for the celebrity will make a statement, or big media sources will publish official court records. This is a serious red signal if it is absent. Examine the motive. Who stands to gain from the belief of this story? Frequently, the website makes money from your clicks through advertisements. Keep in mind that you are the product if you are not paying for it. The thing being sold is your attention. Follow reputable fact-checkers. Reliable sources include the fact-checking departments of major news organizations, PolitiFact, which covers celebrity rumors occasionally, but is primarily about politics, and Snopes. Be kind. Keep in mind that the people behind the headlines are actual people. Don't add to the chaos by spreading unsubstantiated, potentially dangerous rumors. Saying something like, "I saw this rumor, but it seems unverified," is preferable to disseminating false information. Visual aid. Your checklist. Pause, verify source, reverse image search, find official word, think about motivation, show kindness although it requires a bit more work. The difference is significant. It keeps you from appearing silly by spreading false information, safeguards other people's privacy, and contributes to a more robust online information economy. The wider view, celebrity culture, and our obligation music turns into a contemplative. This gossip about Zooey and Jonathan is only one small part of a much larger issue. Truth frequently becomes the first casualty of our round-the-clock news cycle, which is driven by social media and the unquenchable want for content. Celebrity lives are viewed as public property, with their pleasures and sorrows being analyzed and frequently misrepresented for amusement. Montage of various discredited celebrity claims such as Tom Cruise joins obscure cult and Celebrity X dies. Fake headlines. We have repeatedly witnessed fictitious breakups, feuds, pregnancies, and deaths. It can occasionally be harmless-ish fun, but more often than not, it goes too far and causes actual harm. Although the distinction between a private citizen and a public figure is hazy, it shouldn't be non-existent. We have power as media consumers. We push back every time we decide to double-check before sharing, every time we reject obviously phony sensationalism, and every time we demand better from the platforms we use. We send a message that respect and honesty are more important than phony drama and cheap clicks. In conclusion, let's get back to reality. To put it succinctly and clearly, Jonathan Scott has never been married. As a result, he could not have remarried. The music then softly returns to the opening theme. There is absolutely no solid proof that Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott have filed for divorce. There are no court records, representative statements, or legitimate news reports. The entire story, which connects a fictitious remarriage to a fictitious divorce filing, is complete and utterly false. It is a fabrication intended to elicit clicks and interaction, taking advantage of our curiosity and the rapidity of internet sharing. B-roll, the last recent, cheerful picture of Jonathan and Zooey together, either taken on the red carpet or during a laid-back get-together. Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott are still very much together, managing their relationship like any other couple, away from the skewed perspective of online rumors, as far as anyone outside of their close circle is aware and as all reliable reporting suggests. Until facts, not fiction, demonstrate otherwise, let's grant them and other public personalities the fundamental respect of privacy and the benefit of the doubt. Sincere, the host looks straight into the camera. Keep the truth from being overshadowed by the noise. Be critical, but also inquisitive. Show kindness. Also, keep in mind that authentic stories, rather than ones created for clicks, are frequently the most captivating. How do you feel about the proliferation of celebrity rumors? Have you ever shared something by mistake that later proved to be fraudulent? Please share your ideas in the comment section below, along with your best fact-checking advice. For more in-depth analyses of pop culture that separate fact from fantasy, remember to subscribe and like this video if it helped you cut through the clutter. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in the future one. Outro music. The energetic yet reflective full version of the entrance track plays. End screen featuring social media handles, links to additional related videos, such as how to spot fake news or debunking celebrity death hoaxes, and a subscribe button.